Welcome to Giants.com. We're joined by the new general manager of the Giants, Dave Gettleman. And Dave, a return home for you after 15 years with the Giants organization. What enticed you about this job?
Well, it's funny, Bob. I'm a little bit older, as most people know, and some are just enjoying pointing out. And from Boston, which everybody will figure out, everybody around here knows. And, back in the 50s when I got really enamored with football, the Patriots weren't alive yet. The AFL didn't start till 60. So the games that we got in Boston were the Giants and the Browns games. And to think that, as an 8-year-old kid watching the Giants play, to think that I'm here now is, special.
You've been part of a lot of winners. Your time in Buffalo, you were with Denver, and then obviously with the Giants going to 3 Super Bowls in your time here, winning 2 in 2007, 2011. You got an opportunity to run your own program in Carolina, 3 straight division titles, an NFC championship. What did you learn from that experience that you'll bring to this job?
Well, it's funny. We're all creatures of, we all become creatures of what we learn and what we know of our own experiences. And I think that we accomplished a lot down in Carolina. I got the opportunity to use all the ideas and things that I had garnered from all the people that I had worked for and with, with Buffalo and then Denver and here, I worked with Bill Pauly and Marv Levy, Mike Shanahan, Bob Ferguson, Ernie Accorsi, Jerry Reese. Think of all the Super Bowls all those guys have been to. And for me to get that opportunity to learn from them, and I got the opportunity to take all those ideas, and of course you also learn from afar. You read The Winning Edge by Bill Walsh, and you watch what the Patriots have accomplished up there. What Bill has done, up there, and you pay attention, and hopefully you learn. And what I am is a compilation of all those experiences, ideas, things I've put together, and things I put into practice when I was in Carolina. So it's going to be a lot of that.
So you have to find a head coach. You have a philosophy. What does Dave Gettleman's vision of the New York Giants head coach and the football team to look like?
Well, really and truly, Bob, offenses and defenses evolve. Obviously, the college game has affected what our offensive coaches are doing, and obviously our defensive coaches have had to react to that. But despite the evolution, basic concepts don't change. You got to run the ball, you got to stop the run, and you got to rush the passer. And if you are limited in any one of those 3 areas, you're going to have a hard time winning. It's going to be very difficult. And that's where we were when I was here. That's where, I think about those Denver Bronco teams that went to the Super Bowl. I think about the Bills teams that went to the Super Bowls, and the Panther team that we went to the Super Bowl with in 15. And that's what all those teams could do. They could run, they could stop the run, and they could rush the passer. It doesn't change. It really doesn't change. And the other thing I truly believe in, offense scores points, defense wins championships. I think there's been 6 matchups in the Super Bowl of the number 1 offense against the number 1 defense, and the number 1 defense is 5-1.
Do you lean one way or another when you think about a possible head coach as far as offensive side of the ball, defensive side of the ball, or does that not necessarily come into your equation when you think head coach?
Well, Bob, it's something obviously you think about. You look at most of your great head coaches have been defensive guys. I'm not stating a preference, I'm just stating a fact.
Right.
Okay? But obviously we're looking for the qualities, being a head coach in this league is a CEO job. It's no different than being the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. Okay, you've got to be a leader, you've got to be able to communicate, you've got to encourage collaboration, you've got to develop a culture, and you've got to be tough. One of the things that I learned through my reading, and I do read beyond the sports page and comic section. One of the things you learn is you've got to be tough. You've got to ask the right question to get to the right answer. You got to be brutally honest. You have to have a toughness about you in order to win, to succeed. I'm not saying you have to be mean. You just got to be tough, mentally tough, and those are the qualities I'm looking for. We're looking for a smart guy who's got the mental toughness and the leadership skills to lead an organization.
And then obviously where the Giants are in 2017, you're going to have a high draft pick. And there's a lot of different ways that you can go. And obviously you're just getting started with all this. But do you believe in flexibility as far as, hey, if there's something that we see, we're willing to move around in order to try to find a player, either trade down, trade up? Not necessarily talking about just that pick.
Right. No, Bob, it's a fair question. In Carolina, I did both. We moved up, we moved back. So, yeah, to answer your question, yes, I firmly believe in the draft that you have to set your board and you need to live with it. If you pass over a guy, you're making a mistake. I don't care how strong you are at a position. If you got 3 great defensive ends and all of a sudden there's another great defensive end staring at you in the face, in this day and age with salary cap and all that stuff, you got to keep replenishing. Okay.
Sort of like when Ernie took Justin Tuck and everyone said, why? You have Strahan and Osi.
Exactly. And you can never have too many great players at a position. And you have to draft value. So, I remember the story, Ernie coming into my office one time and looking at me and saying, I don't like anybody here, get me out of this pick. And, we traded back and whatever. Well, it's the same thing. You have to be willing to move up and around. You can't be afraid to. And at the end of the day, you do what you think is the right thing at that time with the information you have.
Eli Manning obviously has put 2 rings on everybody's fingers in this building. And he knows where he is in the arc of his career, and we know how much the New York Giants mean to him. Is that a conversation that you and ownership, you'll sit down and figure out what's next as far as moving forward?
Well, Bob, you've, like you said at the top, I was 15 years here, so you know me pretty well. I didn't have great access to film this fall, and I'm a film watcher. That's my happy place. Give me a cup of coffee and let me go, and I got a lot of film watching to do. I know this, that I did get the opportunity to watch the Philly game at the end of the year, and that's the Eli that I know. But obviously, I just got here. There's a lot of film watching to do. There's a lot of conversations to be had, and we'll come to the right answer.
Putting together a team, both on the field, with the coaching staff, the team that you want around you. What's the one quality that you want everybody to sort of embody, not just the head coach? Well,
it's really funny. I've been asked this before, and I said to someone, if I go into a room of football coaches and football players, and I ask the question, okay, who likes to win? Who's not going to raise their hand? The question that you have to ask is, who hates to lose? That's the question. Those are the guys that I want.
Dave, welcome back home. Congratulations on being named the new general manager of the Giants.
Thank you so much, Bob.
Dave Gettleman joining us, the new general manager of the New York Football Giants as we look ahead to 2018. Thanks for joining us here on Giants.com.